Toodaloo, motherfucker!
I don't know Wade personally, but from watching the case, I believe he is 100% innocent.
He is going to get the death penalty if we don't do anything.
Signed by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death.
We need to free him now.
My nose to the ground and really just focus on fighting everything that I can for Wade behind the scenes because there's a lot going down.
Who did he do the interview with?
This guy jumpsuit Pablo, who's been a fucking problem. Fucking asshole about shit. Like, asshole.
Oh, I'm the asshole. I killed 0 people.
So I got back in the car, and that's when he started strangling me. And when I heard that that's how he killed those women, I was like, this is like his MO. This is what he does.
Christine and I have been friends since we were in high school.
Where did the two of you meet?
In Illinois, where we grew up.
No, she always had everybody's back. She just had that personality that was really magnifying. She had this really loud laugh that you could hear it like a mile away.
Stage full name. My name is Wade Stephen Wilson. Hey.
All right, y'all. Mic check 1 2. We here.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me lower this down.
I am at my day job, so you guys, hey, bear with us. The last time we did this was Sarah Boone. It went well, but we really don't do lives like this, so bear with us. We're going to be covering this Wade Wilson appeal. He will not be here. This is Michael Ufferman. We already know the arguments Michael Ufferman's coming with. Get ready for him to argue that Wade Wilson was arrested before the law changed to the death penalty of the vote system. His votes on the old law, Wade Wilson wouldn't have got death. So I know Michael Ufferman's going to be coming with this today. We got DVS stuck in the system in the building. What up?
What's going on, Plug? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We're back here, and we're talking about Wade Stephen Wilson, the ugly devil. I know we've been talking about this for almost over a year to 2 years. This is where it gets interesting. There's a possibility, small chance, that he might not get the death penalty. If this goes through, this would put him in population, and it would just give him life without the possibility of parole, which would give the chance of karma, justice, and all the other things that people want to take place to actually take place. Because if he's in population, unless he decides to stay in PC, Plug, he can absolutely get touched in a very short amount of time.
So basically, we're not going to know today if he will, get just life in prison. But today you're going to get an idea, because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've covered this Florida Supreme Court, all 6 of these people before. These judges, and the bald-headed dude especially, he doesn't play. And I guarantee that Ufferman, if he comes with anything stupid, he's going to get called out for it. So you're going to see a lot of how their energy is towards Wade Wilson and how they feel about this case. You're going to see that today, and you're ultimately going to be able to come up with a decision of, I don't think this dude's going to get the appeal.
Maybe not. I don't know. That
so
guy
Flames
before him,
Trotters
right?
in the chat saying Wade Wilson is not PC. Listen, man, he did PC up before. You know what I'm saying? He's in death row now. And if he was on the main line, he would have to PC because he's got the #1 white supremacy gang in Florida on his ass. He's.
Yeah. The Unforgiven are going to definitely get him. As soon as he gets the population, it's going to be a done deal. They're not going to be playing any kind of games when it comes to, allowing him to walk around freely or, even make a mockery of whatever it is that they represent. So I don't believe that he won't be touched. He would definitely be handled through whatever organization it is that he, wants to be a part of. They're going to get him.
Yeah, and he's a sexual predator when it comes to prison too. We read his DRs last time. I don't know if Flame Schroeder, he's in here saying like talk about Wade Wilson if he actually seen the DRs, but this dude, you know, he put his penis in somebody's mouth. First of all, a dude that was sleeping with his mouth open, right? This dude was sleeping 18 hours a day though, and I guess Wade decided he looked at that mouth open all day and he decided to creep over there. It's fucking disgusting. And another time he put his penis on some dude's butt cheeks.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He is a sexual deviant. He's definitely a heinous murderer. We saw what he did to the victims in this case, right? Brutal, horrific scenes. So I don't know with this lame trotters or lame farters or whatever the fuck his name is. He's not really relevant, but he's not the guy to be talking to. Lame trotter, get up out of here. Keep it schmoving. Back to Wade Wilson. When it comes to Wade is definitely in the, how can I say this? In the realm of borderline psychopath. For those who haven't listened to the phone calls from prison, Wade Wilson is one hell of a character. That's right. He is scum.
Good morning to everybody that just came in. We're here, Supreme Court, waiting for Wade Wilson. Verbal argument, Michael Ufferman. Wade Wilson appeal. I don't know if is he the first one on the docket at 9?
Not sure. I'm not too sure. It could be a hit and a miss. It could be the first case seen, or it could be shit they could save it for later. If they don't really like Hufferman, or you know, he did something to piss off the judge or one of those clerks, it might push his papers all the way to the last one.
No, they definitely. I think Ufferman's respected when it comes to his peers, but I will say this: Wade Wilson isn't. It was shocking to see somebody like Ufferman even pick this up for Wade Wilson. I think he covered. I think Ufferman is Charlie Adelson's lawyer as well.
I believe so, yeah. And you got to remember, Jesse is the one that set this up. Jesse's the one that orchestrated all this with the GoFundMe. I think it was almost $150,000, if not more. Yeah, they're spending a pretty penny on this right here.
They're gonna have to, yeah, definitely. They're gonna have to see where that money went to. You know, that's why all the Wade wives are watching it today. They're seeing where their money went to.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not going to go very far. Guys donated to the wrong GoFundMe. Should have found some kids or some women that were abused or, you know, savagely murdered by someone. You know, shit. Should have donated to the victims. That's what you should have did.
Yes, Kevin, this is Wade's first appeal. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. YouTube Streets Podcast. Smash the like button.
Hey, while we're waiting, man, what's your thoughts about this thing with the Epstein files?
Okay, so the Epstein files, man, first of all, you know, I was on, we were searching names. I typed in true crime on there and stuff popped up, you know, and there's different websites you can use. The DOJ has their website and they actually blocked a lot of the search that you would type in. If you type in like Trump now, nothing's coming up. But there's other websites. There's a Gmail website, which is called Jeffrey's Mail. And basically you have like a Google Gmail interface of Jeffrey. You're seeing all the messages he got in and all the messages that went out. And you're seeing all this shit, bro. A lot of people's on the hot seat, bro. There's NFL players, coaches. There is true crime analysts. You know, I forget that chick's name, Ashlyn, whatever fucking name is. She on Newsweek, Brian Enton's go-to girl, right? She tried to fuck Jeffrey Epstein. That's in there. There's all kinds of shit, bro.
I saw that. I was actually surprised because it's like, whoa. But another thing that surprised me too, I wanted to say, you know, a lot of people don't know about the Pizzagate scandal. This is connected in a lot of ways. Like I said earlier, I had tried to look up something to compare or find the lingo to the Pizzagate scandal, and for whatever reason, ChatGPT does not allow you to go that far. Like you hit a wall. It will say that it is the most plainest thing that you could possibly say if you were to try to use these as codes, right? Pizza is mentioned how many times, Plug? Over what, 2,000 times? How many times are they ordering pizza, man? Pizza every day. Whoa, pizza, pizza. And it's not just one pizza joint, it's a few. I don't know. It's something to look into. It's pretty scary because all the lingo that was used in the Pizzagate scandal is kind of there. I don't care how much you like pizza.
Yeah, so they're not gonna they're not gonna. All right, so people say, oh, they're just ordering pizza. Who the fuck orders a pizza through another person? I'm sorry, dude. What the fuck are they talking about? We know what they're talking about. We know, and ChatGPT and the AIs, they're fighting against this because you need to understand something. They're using symbols. They're using.
Oh, whoa. Is that you? Or
no? Is that them? I don't know. Mute them. Mute them real quick.
I believe I have it.
Yeah, it's them. Unmuted now.
Yep. Yeah, no. It's muted. Hold on.
Yeah, it's definitely them. No, the Epstein shit's crazy, bro. I can't see anybody after what we've seen in the Epstein case. I can't see anybody throwing on gear anymore or support. I honestly, bro, I've seen enough, bro. I've seen enough. And people are like, oh, it's just one person saying, like, let's start with Trump because Trump has fucking a lot. There's one girl that fucking used her toenail, ripped his testicles allegedly or whatever like that, and all kinds of crazy shit. But there's one where Trump actually threatened somebody, a female, and there's another person that witnessed it. So now you got two witnesses. So that's when shit kind of changes up. And there's been a lot of people that victims, and there's one lady that had a video that ended up disappearing. People are disappearing around this case, and it's not a political thing. I want to say this real quick. The Epstein files to me isn't political no more. Like people try to make that. They're all it's true crime, bro. Look at the Madeline case from overseas. The sketch of the woman they seen was Ghislaine Maxwell, bro.
Yeah,
this is shit true crime as fuck.
True crime all the way. Now, I wanted to say that when it comes to the victims, right? There was a victim. She pulled the dead man switch. For those who don't know what a dead man switch is, you have information or whatever it is that you possess. You have a system where it can be released or put out in the case of you dying or, whatever the case may be. This victim had mentioned numerous occasions, I am not suicidal. I do not want to take my own life. And how convenient is it that she ends up being found under those circumstances, right? She hit the dead man switch, and it released the video of her saying, if you're watching this, I'm no longer here. That's one situation. I've seen another situation where there was victims that were in houses where they would see at least 5 children come in and out the house every single day. And this wasn't over a time of a week, a month, a year. It was in a span of a year and a half to 2 years. So that's a lot of kids where are all these kids? Where did they go? That's what I want to know.
And the reason we're complaining is they redacted non-victims and then they doxed victims. The DOJ fucked up on this thing major, and they took a lot of stuff out. We gotta, bro, you're not gonna tell me this is everything. I am complaining about it. Hell yeah, because there's fucking victims of all. There's kids, women, children. There's bodies on top of bodies. But again, that's another live. I think this is about to start and they're about to walk out. Maybe not.
I'm gonna speed this up just make sure we're in the clear.
All right.
As of right now,
all rise.
We're here.
Hear ye. The Supreme Court of Florida is now in session. Let all who have cause to plead draw near. Give attention. You will be heard. God save these United States, the great state of Florida, and this honorable court.
They got that noise cancellation on. Their mics are picking up things, but not picking up things. Sorry for the quality of sound.
Please be seated.
Good morning and welcome to the Florida Supreme Court. Our first case today is Wilson versus State of Florida, number 2024-1345.
Good morning. Michael Luckman on behalf of Wade Wilson. May it please the court. Seated with me at council table is co-counsel for Mr. Wilson, Laurel Cornell Niles. If this argument had been taking place on December 17th of 2025, my presentation would be very different. But
Told you. Knew he's coming with that.
Of the two opinions of this court issued on December 18th. Hunt being the lead one, and Jackson perhaps to a lesser extent. I will acknowledge that all of the claims that I'm raising in my brief have been considered and rejected in the Hunt opinion. I'm very mindful of this court's time. I don't intend to waste this court's time re-arguing things that have already been considered. I continue to believe in these arguments that I've raised. Of course, I believe under Pew that my client has an ex post facto challenge. But again, this court has rejected that challenge. And the next step for my client and probably for Mr. Hunt is going to be the United States Supreme Court to consider that. So otherwise, I love a good intellectual argument, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to beat my head against a brick wall knowing that literally less than or just over 30 days ago, you've issued an opinion addressing all of the issues that I'm raising in my brief. So of course, I'm open to any questions. At the same time, the other point I was going to make, perhaps if I could distinguish Hunt, or perhaps if I could say that that Hunt was somehow not argued the way that I would have argued it, but I'm very familiar with Hunt. I've watched Ms. Pacheras' argument. I think she did a wonderful job, and she presented all the issues that I would have presented them the way that I would present them today or on December 17th. And beyond that, Ms. Pacheras was my legal writing and oral argument instructor in law school. And one of the first things she instructed me is when there's precedent against you, you acknowledge that precedent to the court, you preserve your issue for further review, but you don't waste the court's time unless the court is somehow interested in further discussing the matter. So with that, if there are any questions, I'm happy to address them. Otherwise, again, I acknowledge that Hunt resolves the issues in this case. I preserve these issues, and I will intend to raise them in the United States Supreme Court.
Wow, he just gave up, bro. He just literally gave up.
Add that to the professionalism video.
It's one big club, and we ain't in it, man. It's all about the money, baby.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. May it please the court. I'm Rick Buckwalter, Assistant Attorney General, and I represent the appellee in this case, the state of Florida. My intention coming here this morning was to limit my arguments to responding to those arguments raised by my friend over here on my left, given that he has acknowledged that this court's decisions in both Hunt and Jackson kind of set that aside for today. I really don't have any argument to make, and we would sit on our brief unless, of course, the court has any questions.
Okay, thank you.
I'd summarize and ask that the court affirm the decision of the lower court. Thank you.
Thank you.
To those in the audience, it usually doesn't go this smooth. I promise you.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen anything like this in my life. They're not. He's Ufferman didn't even fight for his client, bro.
This is just showing face, man. They're going through the motions, man. No pun, man. This
No. Listen. I've watched many of them. DVS, they fight for fucking dude. You pay this guy $100,000.
There's nothing. Listen, I get that. I understand that, but this is not that kind of party, man. This is an open shut case, bro. It's either way he gets paid, bro. Everybody's fucking making money off of this, bro. That's it. This is what it is. Bing bong boom. 5 minutes, 100,000. Let's go. If that. This is what the fuck is going on, bro. This shit is a money. Everybody's fucking getting money off of this shit, man. Come on. Let's be real, man. Ocean's 11 or not, bro. Everybody's getting paid. Just saying, man. This is what the norm of shit. The New York State, this is a thing, man. They just bring you to court just to fucking bring you to court to say hi to their friends. I'm bullshit you not, and he's not even there. This was a little meet and
Our
greet
next
real
case
quick.
is Florida Bar versus.
Oh, that's it, bro. Dude, I can't believe that, bro.
24-02.
Bro, Oh, I am, bro. Honestly, that's freaking hilarious, dude. Wade Wilson just got fucking fucked. Even dude, the other side didn't even want to like start the argument, bro. Oh my gosh, it's over. He's gonna take it to the United States. Yeah, dude. If Florida isn't gonna approve it, dude, the U.S. isn't gonna approve it. What the fuck? This is hilarious.
No, it's crazy because at the end of the day, this is we said this shit was gonna happen. This is just emotions.
That was the quickest one, dude. I've seen many of them, bro. I posted them on my other channel, bro.
Listen,
that's the quickest one I've ever seen.
That was kind of long for New York State. Usually, it's just about that time or a little bit quicker. You're out of here.
Yeah, that's not, dude. I don't know if you watched what I did, Daniel. His another dude on death row, a couple cells down from Wade, right? I covered his oh my bad, it's dropped some. I covered his case, right? And dude, the argument, the lawyer was going back and forth with the Supreme Court for at least 40 minutes. Like that was ridiculous. Ufferman basically took the L from because they responded to his appeal through paperwork, right? So he just said basically, I'm not even going to fight this. You guys already gave me what a bag. Bro, you got paid $100,000. You just took a L, dude.
It's not an L. It's not an L because at the end of the day, bro, he still's got to go to the appeal courts at the higher courts, right? But he still got paid. So how is it an L? How did he lose anything? If anything, he had some cracks with the fucking fellas in the courtroom that he's probably going to have fucking dinner with later on in a month about a different case. And this might come up and be like, hey, yo, it's going to work out over there in the appellate division for you. You'll get a little bit more paper on that. Let it drag out. And if whatever happens may be. And if you get him the death penalty taken away, he's going to get killed in the fucking jail population anyway. So go ahead and do your thing. It's a win-win, my guy.
I dropped the link. I don't know who's I don't know who that is backstage, but we need to put a banner up.
Fireman.
Hold on, put a banner up. Yeah, there you go.
Fireman, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, the fireman Pino. Man,
here we fucking go. You pulling a flame shotter, bro? Oh, you're the fireman. You're putting out the flames.
I'm putting out the fire.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Hey, listen. So it's a Supreme Court hearing, right? Y'all hear me good? Mike good?
Yeah, Mike is good, man. Go ahead, talk your shit.
It's a Supreme Court hearing, right? It's just getting him into the courtroom. I understand that we were expecting some fighting to go on, like between defense and state.
I wasn't.
I wasn't really expecting it because it's the first Supreme Court appeal.
Guys, that I've covered. When have you ever seen a Florida Supreme Court appeal? I'm asking you personally.
Yes, I've seen.
Who have you seen? Who have you seen? Because I'm telling you right now, that is not how it goes. That's the first time I've ever seen it where the lawyer doesn't fight at all.
So first off,
prove me wrong, brother.
What's the basis of his appeal being in the court?
That his appeal is basically that when when they found him guilty 9-3, it was supposed to be that he doesn't get the death penalty. He gets the life without parole because there was a law that was passed after he was arrested, but they're putting him in that category of the law that was passed after his arrest.
Right. So they're trying to retroact him. They're trying to basically say the crime was committed before the law was passed, right?
Yes.
All right. So I understand Plug. Yes, they're supposed to fight a little bit more than that. That was a little weak. I do feel that. But it's the first appeal, and I feel like this is just to get it in front of the judge. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they want this case in the appellate court.
Brother, this is one. And brother, listen, guys, listen. This is
so I get what Pino's saying though.
Hold on, DVS. This is a one and only. So you don't go back in front of the judge for Florida. He's got one more left in this United States Supreme Court. This was a waste of time. They fucked up. No, and I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did. Fuck Wade Wilson.
So what was the outcome of this? What
it's just going to go to the Supreme Court Appellate Division. But this is the steps that need to be taken in order to get there. You have to exhaust all resources. This is a resource that has been exhausted. So now you move on, just like with the grievance process in prison. You start at the facility. If the facility didn't go to, higher ups where, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, man. and then you go to after that you would go to the state for any kind of grievance. Usually it doesn't make there. It usually gets handled in a facility before it gets sent any kind of like higher ups.
I don't know about the 2 appeals, plug. I'm pretty sure that there's more appeals than 2 in appellate courts. Especially with death penalty cases, I'm almost positive death penalty cases have like 5 to 10 appeals.
Well, once he gets to the Supreme Court,
Florida
they can
it's done.
exhaust
That was
those
just one and
resources.
done.
I might have to do some research on that.
Check for me because I'm at work right now. I can't look at anything.
Yeah, because death penalty cases are different than regular cases. They're handled different in all aspects, especially for the fact that death penalty cases, they actually get an appeal. Well, it's considered an appeal when they call the governor 30 minutes before death, an hour before death. They call the governor and they make the governor sign off on the death warrant before they execute. And if the governor says no, it's going back to court. There's so many appeals with death penalty cases.
So when he gets to the Supreme Court, he'll be able to exhaust all resources that are available to him. Now, in that appeal there could be different motions that could definitely, help the appeal process, right? So there could be motions that they're going to put in, and they might be granted, they might be denied, but it all depends. Because once you get to the Supreme Court, there's a lot of things that, you can do that you can't do in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Constitutional rights come into play way bigger in Supreme Court than in state court.
Yeah, if there's anything that has been violated with your rights in the Supreme Court, oh man, shit can get really good for you in a way where like the due process wasn't given.
Due process is something they don't want to violate when they're doing appellate cases or any case in general. They don't want to violate due process. The case that I'm a little bit off topic, but the case that I'm currently fighting, we're going under due process right now. Our next hearing is going to be a Richardson hearing. So due process is very important when it comes to the court of law. But when it comes to federal court or Supreme Court or the United States,
the highest courts of America,
the hierarchy, they due process and constitutional rights outweighs so many things.
Yeah. Though any of those get violated, man, I could get things reversed, looked at differently, different sentencing guidelines, all kinds of shit. So there's a lot of things that could take place when he goes to the Supreme Court. It's going to be a little minute, but Hufferman is going to get fucking paid, just like he got paid today for his 5 minutes, right? Yep. And it was a shit.
Hey, what did the judge say that made everybody laugh? I couldn't hear that.
The chuckles.
Run it
if
back.
you like, let's run it back.
Run it back. I just can't. I didn't hear what the judge said. Yeah, salute to everybody in the building, man. It's Unorthodox Live. We're here in the morning. We're all at work, except for DBS.
I'm at work right now. What do you mean? I'm on both.
Oh, and also, dude, Flame Schroeder's battling Danny Myers. That's crazy, bro. Y'all know who Danny Myers is?
I don't even know who he is. So
I know who the real Dan Myers is. Shout out to
That ain't the real Dan Myers. Danny Myers is a dude.
Shout out to Big Sid.
Who the hell is that?
Shout out, yeah. Big Sid is so one of his personalities is Dan Myers, but that's not the same person Flames is battling. Danny Myers, the rapper, battled fucking like Pat Stay, and he's a legend, bro. That's crazy that he's battling him. Holy shit.
Hey, listen, I'd like to start. Let's start this over from the beginning, and we can stop it now because we got the live momentum going. We did it with the live, but let's really dissect this shit because the laughter and the familiarity and the warmth of friendship in the room is fucking astronomical, right? This is like barbecue shit, bro.
Yeah, bring it back up. Let's do it, man. Salute to the chat. The real Caucasian.
What the fuck does that mean? What are you talking about, bro?
Talk about Big Sid, man. Big Sid says that. Come on, dude. Calm
I don't
down,
even
bro.
know these guys, man. I don't even never heard of these guys.
Because they're not in FC files. You ever heard of them?
Cornell Niles.
Yeah, man.
If this argument had been taking place on December 17th of 2025, my presentation would be very different. But I certainly am aware of the two opinions that this court issued on December 18th. Hunt being the lead one, and Jackson perhaps to a lesser extent. I will acknowledge that all of the claims that I'm raising in my brief have been considered and rejected in the Hunt opinion. I'm very mindful of this court's time. I don't intend to waste this court's time re-arguing things that have already been considered. I continue to believe in these arguments that I've raised. Of course, I believe under Pew that my client has an ex post facto challenge. But again, this court is.
What's an expo factor challenge? Is that the
That's de facto. So that's oh no, go ahead.
Is that the thing they did with the test of the CAT scan for his brains to say that wasn't competent or he was trying not to be competent enough to stand trial?
So that is he does have that as an argument, but that's not what de facto. I think and chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe de facto is the death penalty voting.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and this is the thing too, right? This is so I forgot. This is how I want to say this. So he's not the only case that gets denied before you go there, right? But you're still supposed to fight for your client. So he just didn't want to take the L in front of all these people because you're gonna fight the thing, and they were gonna come back, and you were gonna look stupid. So Ufferman has decided, you know what? I'm gonna take my chances with the Supreme Court.
Well, let's be honest, Plug. Let's be real. After everything's said and done, and everybody heard these calls, I'm pretty sure, bro, somebody in the courts have fucking listened to these things and done a jacket on him and put him in a category of a dossier. Yo, listen, this shit would be fucking, you would be retarded to fucking try to argue this shit because there's so much fuckery, bro, that's involved with this. It's like, what? Come on. Like, let's get, you guys got it. I'll argue my shit where it counts, right?
Y'all want to hear an unpopular opinion?
Go ahead.
Wade Wilson, there's a heavy, and I'm just giving an unpopular opinion. I'm playing devil's advocate. Don't get mad at me. I don't like Wade Wilson just as much as you don't like him. But there is a high chance that his death penalty will be overturned to a life sentence.
This is reality.
I don't know. I mean, okay. So before this appeal,
let me explain before you go on, Flo. Let me just explain why there's a high chance.
Well, that chances went down after today. But go ahead.
No, it actually got greater.
It didn't.
No, bro. You don't.
Let me explain, Plug.
Go ahead.
So right now, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. All right, Wade. This is very important because I've been in prison with people who fell under the Retro Act, meaning they were sentenced in the 80s and they were eligible for parole, even though there's no parole in Florida. In the 80s, there was parole in Florida. So when they were sentenced, there was parole. So they retroact them in the state of Florida. They put them under the parole board, which we don't even have a parole board. But because they caught the crime when there was still a parole board, they are subject to a parole board. So Wade Wilson committed this crime before the law was passed that it only has to be a certain amount of people to sign off on the death penalty. That is major. That is, I know we want Wade to die, but that is major, bro. Because
he's going to, trust me, they're going to get him.
Yeah, if that law was passed after he committed the crime, that means he still falls under laws that are in effect when the crime was committed. He does not fall under that new law. He can't. Legally, constitutionally, he cannot fall under that new law.
Do me a favor. Go to Lee County, right? The clerk of court. Pino, you're good at this. You're good at.
Yeah, I don't have the computer in front of me.
Okay, so later on, and then go read what the Supreme Court said back because they argued all that. And that's why Ufferman ultimately just your argument got an L today. They're not reversing shit today. They're not. Through the U.S., the U.S. Supreme Court does less than what, dude. He had a big. This is his best chance. Go look at the statistics, DVS.
Hey, listen, when it comes to appeals, Plug, we're not talking about convictions. We're not talking about convictions. The feds have a 99.9% fucking conviction rate. We know that. But when it comes to
and
appeal,
0.01% of cases get appealed in America, something crazy like that. Dude, nobody gets an appeal through the U.S. Supreme Court.
I seen dudes get out
What are
on
you
fucking
talking
technicalities, bro.
Bro, look it up. Look it up, y'all.
I was
this
with
is
a
his
man
best. This
that
was his best
wrongly
chance.
convicted, bro, and he went to appeal,
I've
bro.
seen a lot of
Yeah, while
let
he's
go,
already
bro.
sitting. Why he's already sitting, not when a case already just happened, and then you're going through it. Nah, bro, he ain't getting it. Look at the percentage, bro. Vlad just talked about this. Vlad just
idiot.
Yeah, fucking
Oh,
Russia.
here we go. Here we go.
Vlad has never been on the other side of the law, plug. Let's be real.
I've
Vlad
been
has
in
never
court.
been in fucking handcuffs. He has never been a defendant looking at a fucking judge. He has never had a prosecutor trying to bury
Yeah,
him.
listen, hold on, Pino. This is real talk, bro.
That has nothing. You guys have not got an appeal though.
waiting
What are
in
you
the
even
court.
talking
Listen,
about?
listen.
No, but we've sat in jail with numerous people who have had appeals and went to the appellate court. I've
Hold on.
sat in jail with numerous
Through Florida.
in Florida in Florida State
Exactly.
prison.
And this is Florida. And he just lost today. That's my point. He's
But
not
that's
going to
the
get it through
whole
the U.S.
thing. This is a
We're trying to
game,
tell you
bro.
he didn't lose, bro.
He's
There's
actually
still
going
more
to
appeals.
game.
He's going to the Supreme
He
Court.
has more room to do shit in the fucking Supreme Court, bro.
Bro, that's
This is-
already going to happen. That was already due process. That's the last step anyways. So that's
You're
already
not
due
getting it,
process.
plug. There's a lot of things that can take place on the Supreme Court level that would not be able to take on the state level. I'm telling you, bro. It's very different. It's actually it's a window of hope for some, bro. That's what everybody's trying to get to because there could be something.
A window of hope. I want you. Let's stop talking about what you think and look up the numbers because there's the percentage of getting appeals through the U.S. is very rare, very rare. And Wade Wilson gonna get it, dude.
They're gonna take the death penalty.
It is true.
Maybe the chances of winning your appeal, but the chances of going in on an appeal is not.
Yes, that's
low.
that's what I'm talking about. Winning the appeal. He's not going to win shit. He's staying right where he's at, bro. This was his last chance. The money that they paid Ufferman for failed.
This is not his last chance. Is what we're trying to.
He gets one more. He gets one more chance, but the percentage is low.
Plug. Listen for a second. He gets several more chances. I have watched people in state court throw in about 19 different appeals and fight their life sentence for over 15 years. They were fighting life sentences. For over 15 years, they were sentenced to life, sitting in prison, filing appeal after appeal, going to Supreme Court, going back and forth.
But will he have Ufferman to do that again? No, he's not going to have the money to do it again, bro. It's over, brother. I'm sorry to bust everybody's bubble, but Wade Wilson is done, son.
Okay, but to say he wouldn't have, hold on, I disagree. To say he would not have another lawyer that would say, hey, I'll do pro bono, no fucking problem. Wade Wilson's case is all on Paramount. It's all over YouTube. This is free fucking promo for me. I'm fresh out of law school. Pro bono it is. Come here, Wade Wilson. I'll take your case. That shit happens consistently.
But it won't be Michael Ufferman. It's going to be some no-name. It's not going to be Jose Baez. It's not going to be Jose Baez.
Explain, right? When it comes to this shit, this is a game, bro. You're in the game, man. You're trying to figure out, listen, if I can get to the fucking last quarter, man, it's fucking 3-2, you know what I'm saying? I might be able to get 2 points in. You might be able to come up on an appeal in the Supreme, bro.
And then, Plug, what are you saying? I watched Seth. I watched a dude on the 7th floor who was sentenced to die, who sat on death row for fucking almost 14 years before he came back on his appeal. And his appeal was granted by a Broward County judge, and the judge dismissed the whole case. He walked out of
Okay, let's talk about that case. Did he admit to the murder? murder? Was there DNA evidence? Exactly. He had an actual case. That's what I'm trying to fucking tell you. Wade Wilson is fucked.
But you're not listening.
Yeah, DBS, stop saying I'm not listening because I'm literally sitting here listening. Don't talk over me. Let me talk, motherfucker. Listen, I'm listening to everything you're saying.
What's going on? Hold on. I don't know what the aggression is.
Oh my God. Then you got to keep mumbling. Keep mumbling. Are you done?
There's no mumbling. Let's be
all right.
gentlemen.
Are you going to let me? Yeah, let me fucking talk. Be a gentleman. Stop fucking. Dude, I get interrupted so much.
Yeah, calm down, man.
Dude, again, there you go. Be mumbling. You done? Listen, I'm talking about the percentage that he had going into this appeal his percentage went fucking down. I get that he gets other appeals before he's off death row, but this is the one where all his money went into. This is where he has the top shop lawyer. This is where the lawyer's supposed to come in and give a verbal argument, take those L's, but try to convince you're looking at the people that you're trying to convince to give him an appeal through the state of Florida. Now, the percentage getting the appeal through the state of Florida is higher than when you go to. So if the U.S. is not going to do it, bro. Not with the evidence, not with the confession. There's no fuck up. So Pino, your case. Okay, here we go again. Are you gonna let me talk, bro? Listen, Pino, with your case, you know how they fucked up with the due process. You got your lawyer fighting every little part they fucked up on. Where did they fuck up with Wade Wilson? Because that's where I'm trying to tell you. There's nowhere that they could fight it where they're going to be able to get him off. He fucking confessed. There's DNA evidence.
It's not about the confession, Plug. It's about the fact that law.
All right, bro. I don't know why you're on Wade Wilson's dick, but keep jumping on it, DVS.
Whoa. Hold on, Pino. Let me say something, man. Yo, Plug, I don't know what's going on with you, man, but you need to cool it, man. All this crazy
it's
stuff
the interrupting. It's the I can't.
Listen,
it's the interrupting.
We've been talking back and forth just fine, man. I get you're trying to get your point across, but I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. This is how the game works. This is what's taking place. It's a big game. He's not going to go and do some foolery shit right now to argue anything because he's going to look like a fool. He's going to take this and move along and present his case in a way where nobody can say, yo, he flopped. Yo, he did extra. Yo, he did this for the money. He's going to do it in a way where it's all by the book. He might be able to get it to the point where that law.
He bragged about the murders. You don't take okay. And the law. So okay. You're talking vague again. Come with facts. Where did they fuck up in this case? Because you can't say shit.
The sentencing guidelines have to be in effect of when it is the crime.
I want you to go to Lee County right now. Go to Lee County Court, Clerk of Court. Clerk of Court, and look where they talked about it back because they denied it with Ufferman, and he said, you know what? He's not even gonna fucking talk it back because they had more sense. Go look at what they wrote back, DVS, because you're coming with this notion of saying, yo, you know what? Wade Wilson does have a chance of getting out. They have to go through the due process, all this, right?
He does.
Then show me? You're just saying it again.
Bro, they're gonna
show me.
I would have to look up case law.
Could I talk just for 1 second? DVS was right and you're right. Both of y'all are right. He's guilty as fuck. He's not trying to go back and get found not guilty. He confessed. We know that. We all know he's guilty as fuck. There is no innocent Wade. We all know this. We're past that point. We all know that. Wade knows that. The courts know that. That's not what he's trying to get found. Right now, what they're still fighting, what they denied the first time, and what they're trying to bring to the Supreme Court now is the fact that when the crime was committed, this law was not in effect. So legally, constitutionally, you can chat GPT this Plug when we get off the live, and you'll see that I'm right. Legally,
but that's what I'm trying to say. They already fought this. That's what this whole argument was about, Pino, and they won.
It's not over.
It's not gonna. That's
has to go to the Supreme Court to be in the book.
But they can't fight that with the. They can't fight that with the Supreme Court, bro. They can't fight a Florida law with the Supreme Court.
It actually is. It's actually their backup.
Law. That's law in general.
The Supreme Court.
God, I don't want to hear no more about it. So y'all go read what they said back. So go. Can we do that?
That's going to be their argument.
Let's do it.
Argument. That's their argument. That's what they're presenting. And
can we please do that? Let's shut up and let's stop talking about opinions.
Pull it up.
And let's go with facts. I'm done with this. Go to Lee County.
Private chat, please. Send it directly.
I can't. I told you I'm the only one that fucking work, bro. You do it. The fuck you talking about?
Calm down, man. You are fucking.
God damn.
I don't know what is your issue.
I'm tired of. I told you, 2026. I'm tired of the fucking bullshit, bro. We're not fucking spilling out only opinions. Come with facts. Come with some fucking facts.
We're hundreds of miles away.
I was trying to come with facts.
Shut up, DVS.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying that in general, law states that whatever the law was when the crime was committed.
And that's what this argument was about today, and he didn't even argue it, bro. It was an
I hear that, and I watched the same thing you watched. I hear that. All I'm saying is that it's not over. It has to go to several different appellates before it touches Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court judge rules on it. There are not just one appeal when it comes to death penalty cases, bro. There are several death penalty. You are better off getting the death penalty than life because you have more appeals that come with the death penalty than you have that come with a life sentence.
I get that, but you have to come with some kind of thing, you know, something that gives you an argument of where they fucked up in the due process. That's all I'm saying.
Because and like I said, and just he's not trying to get it overturned. And I just told you the argument in the due process, and it's a valid argument.
That's not due process, though. That's something that's a bill. That's a bill, bro.
That's not a bill that falls under due process in your
that was not
rights.
no.
The law is when the crime was committed is the law that applies to the crime. The law doesn't change. You don't sit in there and then the law changes while you're sitting in there so they can bury you more. That's unconstitutional. It violates due process.
It didn't violate due process, or they would have won today, bro. Real fucking simple.
Bro, this is the
they
would
have.
Oh my God. First appeal. The man hasn't even been in prison 2 years. People sit on death row 19 years fighting the death penalty with several different fucking appeals, not just one. And just because we don't know his angle of appeal,
we know his whole angle. We know.
I'm assuming the angle is the fact that the law states that's it. It's not just Florida. You could be in Georgia if you commit a crime, and then the law changes later on after you commit that crime. The law that was current to the time you committed that crime is the law that applies to that crime.
Get Mr. Braun up here, man. Come on, man.
Trial right now.
Give me a fucking lawyer up here because look, I've already seen. All right, first of all, guys, the verbal arguments has been in for what, a month and a half. So I've already seen everything they're going to talk about today that they were supposed to, and you see what they argue back. They had a good argument back. So why don't you read it? Since we didn't get to see it.
Where is it exactly? Because I need to know.
Okay, so you go to let's go. Would it be okay? So Lee County Clerk of Court, Wade Wilson, and then it'll be the newest like file at the bottom.
What would it be?
Hold on, I'm gonna get back in my work truck 1 second. Thank you for the donations today, y'all. So if we missed this, Stephen Callie, Chantel, thank you. You pulling it up? What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying. I need you to tell me exactly what it is that
Okay, brother. I okay, go to Lee County, go to Wade Wilson, go on the last one, go on, see, look for the appeal. It will be right there. You got to do a little bit of work.
Listen, there's no appeal here. It's all charges.
And today wasn't to get his death sentence changed. It was a retrial. That's what his Wade Wise want. Yeah, they want the retrial.
You got a case number on that?
No offense, but the Wade wives are stupid and they're not lawyers, so who gives a fuck what they want? I'm pretty sure Wade doesn't even give a fuck what they want.
No, he just wants their money. I'll do it in a regular video, DBS. I'm at work. I ain't got time to go looking for case numbers and shit.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now, man.
It's literally it's so fucking easy. I don't know why you can't do it. We'll do it later, bro. It's no big deal. It's not your cup of tea. Move on. Cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know what your issue is this morning, Plug, but
It's you gotta listen, bro. When we do, because usually I'm producer, right? I'll step back, I'll let you talk, but when it's something like when I'm fucking trying to say something, I'm not gonna keep getting cut off and then fucking forget what I was trying to say, bro. Especially when I'm at work. Fuck that, bro. I'm not in the mood for that shit. Told you that shit, bro. I ain't 2026 different.
so what the fuck you saying? You just gonna say what you gonna say, and it doesn't have to be factual. It's just whatever the fuck it is.
Bro,
that you're saying?
everything I said was facts. I'm telling you everything that literally that they were arguing. I'm telling you everything in the case.
And
What
I'm
I
fucking
asked you
telling
to, what
you
I asked
from
you,
my
dude,
experience,
I'm
right,
still
being
talking. See, whatever.
incarcerated
Here we go.
majority of my
Here we
life,
go.
that he's
Go
gonna
ahead.
get the
Talk
fucking
over
appeal,
people.
and he's
Talk
gonna
over
get
people.
the fucking death penalty taken away, and he's gonna end up doing life without parole. I'm
I'm
telling
telling you,
you,
if you were on no jumper, they would have fired you already because you don't know how not to talk over somebody. Listen, bro, all I asked you to do was bring facts. You couldn't name one thing in the case where it fucked up the case.
I'm telling you that when you go to Supreme Court on appeals, bro, you have a better chance of coming back on a resentence or going back to the guidelines that you're originally trying to get set in the first place. I'm telling you, this is what happens.
There's the link right there. Click that link. Click that link. Salute to everybody in the building. They rather watch us argue than go watch somebody be boring on a fucking live stream. I give them that though. I'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? At least this is fucking entertaining, and actually, there's actually comment, like a back and forth is very healthy. Getting to the truth is healthy. A lot of these fucking people that go on YouTube, they're just by themselves and they're spitting one narrative. You can say that on the YouTube streets. We don't like put a narrative down your fucking throat, like literally. Like we're actually about to reset everything anyways. We're about to go even fucking harder. But yeah, you all know what I mean.
Said it would be the last one down on the page, Plug.
Yeah, it'd be one of the ones at the end here because the appeal went in and then the Supreme Court responded. Now the response is what I really want to. I remember we covered it already, right? I went live and read this to you, DBS. This is the crazy part. I went live and fucking read this to you, bro.
And this is the Lee County the Lee County courts turning him down, Plug?
Yeah, it's the Florida Supreme Court turning him down.
Yeah, I don't see nothing for 2026. Everything's 2025.
All right, hold on. Well, yeah, it will be 2025. It ain't gonna be 2026
So
because
it
this
would
was
be
all in
December.
2025. Yeah, probably.
Hold on.
I'm not looking at my phone, bro. I have to put in I got to put in a lot of paperwork in, man. That's what I'm doing right now on my 9 to 5. This is why we're not live during the day, guys, because we would be working.
Yeah, it's not showing much, bro.
Hold on. All right, check the private chat. Shout out to Carolyn Cooper. She just emailed me.
It's loading. Taking some time though. Holy shit.
Good morning, everybody. Salute to everybody in the chat.
Make sure y'all smash that like. Early morning smashing that like. Help the algorithm.
So what we doing, man? Florida Supreme Court upholds death sentence and challenge to 8-jury law. The state highest court upholds Michael James Jackson's death sentence and then challenge to
Ooh, she sent an example.
law.
Oh, this is gonna
Whoa.
crush y'all's dreams right here. Oh, I can feel it in my stomach. Oh,
Florida
fuck!
Supreme
Good
Court
shot,
on
Carolyn
Thursday.
Cooper.
Listen, man, chill the fuck. Still has to go through the
I'll mute up.
process. Chill the fuck out, man. The Florida Supreme Court on Thursday upheld the death sentence of a twice condemned man, dismissing his constitutional concerns over a state law that allows just 8 jurors to recommend death, the lowest threshold in the nation. The state's highest court, in a 65-page opinion, affirmed Michael James Jackson's death sentence, which had received twice in 16 years for burying alive an elderly couple in 2005. Although Jackson was one of the 40 death row inmates resentenced when the state high court briefly found non-unanimous death recommendations unconstitutional, he remains the only one to be condemned again after lawmakers reversed the course in 2023. In his initial brief, Jackson raises 6 issues, with some sub-issues, targeting the 2023 law or its application. The opinion signed by 6 of the 7 justices reads, each one fails. Jackson's case falls amid a larger conversation in Florida spearheaded by Governor Ron DeSantis and GOP lawmaker on expanding the death penalty. In 2025 alone, 19 inmates as of Thursday night will have been executed, shattering the state's 1984 records of 8 executions in 1 year.
I just want to point something out, right? This guy committed his crime in 2005. We are in 2000. It said 2020. He was still putting in appeals. That is 15 years later. He is still going back and forth to the courts.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. Good point. Good point. It's
Jackson
not the same thing because
falls
Wade.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, my fault. Go ahead, Blood. Go ahead.
It's
No,
normal
go ahead,
for
go ahead,
death
you're
penalty.
fine.
All I'm gonna say is that is normal for death penalty cases.
Yeah, they got to exhaust all resources. Jackson case falls amid a larger conversation in Florida. Similarly, in the past few years, Florida has stretched the death penalty to include child rapists and human traffickers of children. It's also allowed for fewer jurors.
Why
to
wasn't
recommend
Stephen Stearns included?
I don't know, man. That dude, he needs to go. Another one that needs to get dealt with. Recommended death to increase potential execution methods. Juror death recommendations in Florida. The case centers on the state's decades-long flip-flopping on how many jurors are needed to recommend the death penalty. For years, Florida allowed a simple 7-5 majority. Jackson, for example, was sentenced to death in 2007 on 8-4 recommendation. But in 2016, the state Supreme Court declared that unanimity was required for death recommendations, mirroring federal law in every other state except for Alabama, and now Florida. This led to the resentencing of a dozen of death row inmates who've been condemned by less than unanimous juries. Jackson was on that list, so were Alan Wade and Tiffany Cole, his co-conspirators, although they both on resentencing drew life sentences instead of death. Just 4 years later, in 2020, the state Supreme Court decided that the Florida Constitution does not require a unanimous recommendation of death. This prompted lawmakers in 2023 to lower the threshold for death recommendations from unanimous jury to 8-4 majority. Florida is the only state to allow fewer than 10 jurors to recommend death. The only other state that does require the unanimous jury verdict is Alabama with 10 jurors. So when Jackson had the resentencing trial delayed until just weeks after that 2023 law that took effect, 8 jurors recommended execution, and just like 16 years earlier, Jackson was sentenced to death by an 8-4 majority. Let's get down to the meat and the potatoes. What did Jackson argue? Jackson, now 43, argued a number of points ranging from alleged improprieties during his initial trial to claiming that the 2023 law was unconstitutional, racist, indecent, and couldn't apply to him. Briefly, he also claimed that the law was improperly targeted at the time. He pointed to legislative debate in which lawmakers acknowledged that only one pending capital case would be affected by the change, which was Jackson's, and argued that this showed the statute was crafted to ensure it would apply to his resentencing. 6 justices rejected all of this claim, largely by pointing out that non-unanimous jury is constitutional under the 2020 Florida Supreme Court case. They also disagreed that Jackson's resentencing order from 2017 prevented him from receiving the burden of later statute, writing, the 2017 order did no more than confirm that under the decision law at the time, Jackson was entitled to resentencing. Justice George Labarga, the sole moderate justice, concurred in the separate 4-page opinion, writing that he wanted to respect precedent, but emphasizing his opposition to the 2023 law. I write to underscore that the 8-4 threshold renders Florida the absolute outliner among states that impose the death penalty. Florida now has the lowest standard in the nation, requiring fewest numbers of jurors to recommend the death penalty, he wrote.
Let me ask you something. Okay. When it comes to Wade Wilson's paperwork, when it comes to this appeal, so let's go back in time. Let's go, because this doesn't make I don't know, bro. Hold on. I have a really good argument. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I thought you were coming with it. Yep, I can hear you.
I cut out?
Mike, no, you didn't cut out unless, I don't know, maybe you did. Who knows? Technical difficulties, everybody. Shout out to the chat. I think there's still a good chance of him actually getting the death penalty overturned and putting, life without parole. I think that it's
absolutely. Anytime due process or constitutional rights have been violated, it will always be brought up before the court. It could always be shot down. He could always remain on.
Let me ask y'all something. Let me ask you something, Pino DBS. What's the number one thing that keeps it from being the death penalty to life without parole? What's the number one thing? Before sentencing. It's victims, bro. It's victim impact statements, and with Wade Wilson's victims and Zane and everybody that they want the death penalty, they already said they're going to fight to the death. Wade Wilson's not getting off death row. I'm sorry.
I don't think those victim impact statements are actually presented. I don't think they have any weight when it comes to the appeal in violation of your constitutional rights.
What?
I don't
think your rights. Yeah. You're right about that part of the constitutional right, but I believe they're there for. I don't know. I remember, like, Mandu has a channel, right? I know those are parole hearings, right? A little bit different.
Yeah, those are victim impact statements from. So those count. Like when you go to parole, and you're, whatever. If there's a victim impact statement inside of your packet, they're gonna side with whatever the victim is saying. Sometimes there is none, and that's kind of better for you because then they have no idea of what's taking place. But if there's a victim impact statement, you're cooked. You're not making your first board. That's like everybody. It's an unwritten rule that everybody knows. You got a victim impact statement, you're done. See you at the next board 24 months later.
Listen,
and you got to show some remorse when it comes to that.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say for the record that I am a firm believer in the death penalty. I 100% believe there are people that deserve to get sentenced to die and that should die. And I'm a firm believer that Wade is one of them. I am just speaking off of law and constitutional facts and due process. There's a lot of appeals to be done in Wade's case.
And this can set the tone later down the road for those who are doing appeals on this very thing. If it gets granted, they can say, "Yo, listen, we're going to pull up the Wade Wilson versus state of Florida, whatever the case may be, because there might be a
Correct.
loophole." So it's actually it's to mark the books, man, to have the case documented. And when you get to the highest courts, like it's going to either help the courts close loopholes, or it's going to help keep loopholes open or find loopholes. You know what I mean? So that needs to be documented. So all that stuff can be later traced when you have case study and you want to be like, yo, this right here was already, determined. Let's bring this case in, and it kind of like helps your case. So
Both
so
of you guys have
Correct.
expressed
So
both of you guys expressed possibilities, right? But I'm just saying the percentages have gone down after today. After you pay this amount of money and your lawyer just takes the L right in front of everybody in 4K. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
it's not
sorry.
an
You
L.
go.
Doug.
You.
I don't agree
It
with
is
you
an
on
L.
the L.
It's a
I'm
100% an
gonna
L.
Game.
Let's ask the
It's
chat if that was an L. Ask the chat.
it's
so
not.
I'm
It's not.
gonna just speak on what DVS
It
is
is.
saying. As far as case law, he's absolutely 100% correct. If Wade Wilson wins any appeal in the court, his name will be referred to as case law. When I said I'm going for a Richardson hearing, it's literally called a Richardson hearing after a case that went up, Richardson versus State, who was a defendant, Richardson versus State, and he won. And now this case law is referred to constantly. They even call it a hearing now. They call it a Richardson hearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those things are mandatory for either stuff like that or to close any kind of loopholes that, because now if they say, yo, listen, this is going to be the second case that we said, yo, you're getting a death penalty and you're upholding that shit, dude. I don't care about that law that took place after. Like, this is what it is, because that's basically what they did to this dude. They basically said, we're not nothing, none of that shit. You're getting a death penalty. We're not upholding none of that on whatever grounds it was. But this is what the game is about. You gotta play all the way to the end. And this right here was a small scrimmage. It's nothing, because it's about to get on the field for real.
And that's a good analogy, Plug. You got to look at it like that, bro. It's a football field. Plays are being made.
This is like a coin toss.
Yeah.
This is a good analogy for a coin toss, bro.
Correct.
Well, y'all are down 21-0 then. Y'all are down 21-0 and you're not gonna be able to come back. It don't matter. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. It's over with. You got the defense is too good. You're done.
Bro, this is the first play. This is the first play made in a 15 to 20 year process. You really think?
If you really want to get real, the first play is the first day of actual court. When you're supposed, his lawyers, and I ain't gonna lie, the public defenders he had, they were shitty. But God bless, thank God they were.
What is there to work with? Plug, he's just going to have to work with what he has. And he's just going to have to present it in the best possible way he can, where it doesn't show negligence, where he was having poor judgment, bro. He's going to take all these things and he's going to have to play with the cards he has dealt him. And I tell you what, sometimes you got to fucking fold, bro. You ain't got shit to fucking, you ain't got nothing in your hand, son. Maybe on the next go round, we might have something in our hand. But this one I had to fold. Man, I'm telling you, I've been around. I've had lawyers. I've been to trial. I went to trial at my first time at fucking 13 years old, bro. I've been to trial. I've been to hearings and all that. So I know how this shit goes, bro. You're in the box with the fucking lawyer, and he's fucking like, what's going on? Boo, boo, boo. You just sitting there watching him work. Either he's gonna fight for you, or he's got some shit up his sleeve, or he doesn't. And you're gonna be able to tell if you got any kind of sense. But it's all with what they got. They can only work with what they have.
I'm surprised that his first motion is in regards to due process, and not in regards, because usually, DVS, when you're incarcerated around everybody, their first appeal motion is the motion that they had incompetent counsel, meaning that at the time they were sentenced, they were not on one-on-one terms with their counsel. Their counsel didn't properly advise them of any deals on the table, anything going on. Their counsel just told them to go to trial and improperly advised them. So that's the number one appeal for any case. That's the number one appeal. Basically, your lawyer was incompetent. He you know what I mean? You guys did not I might not be using the correct word, but you know what I'm saying. Basically saying that you and your lawyer were not on one-on-one terms during the sentencing or during the trial. Is
Yeah, and that's always a card you can use, because at the end of the day, that's another way to either, you see how Suitcase Killer Sarah Boone, she kept on prolonging the shit. The other one too, it's all a part of the game. You got so many cards up your sleeve. Now, depending on which one you use, you better use them for the right fucking deal. But you can keep on trying to fucking do that stupid shit. There's so many loopholes. So many loopholes.
Ineffective counsel. I appreciate that. Diet
Yeah, you
Pepsi
can pull
for
that
me.
card so many times. Ineffective counsel.
See, that's a
card that you
card
wanna
he can pull. He can pull it after this. After his due process appeal, he can go ahead and do an ineffective counsel appeal.
Yeah, there's so many avenues that you can. You really got to exhaust all avenues, but there's so many that
You won't win none of them.
I'm telling you, there's a possibility. I've seen it.
Very
I've seen
like maybe 1.2%.
Listen, man.
And another thing too, Ashley
This is
Moody,
moving so
the
quick.
former his district attorney. What is she now? What is Ashley Moody now? She's something to do with in the feds now, right? Or Florida's attorney general or something. The same chick that would, she's dude. I'm telling you, bro, he's fucked.
So,
dude. There ain't
yeah,
even out.
as
He ain't
far
never gonna
as-
have life.
As far as Plug is right, as far as death penalty cases are concerned right now, Florida is the worst place to be.
Told y'all.
Oh no, absolutely. It's one of the most places in the country right now that's been fucking executing people.
Yeah,
But
well,
they're
it's
gonna wanna put that
primarily
to a
because of
stop.
our governor. It's primarily because of our governor. He's
I
pro-Republican
guarantee
and
you
he likes the death penalty. He's a firm believer in the death
No,
penalty, and he's a
absolutely.
firm believer that they shouldn't be sitting for 20 years.
I agree with the
living life.
child molesters and the woman killers and the
Well, that's the way it
deviants.
is.
Well, that's
I
what
agree with
majority
that.
of death
I agree
row
with that.
is.
But I believe that because this is moving too quick for me, right? This is more of a statement than for me for anything. Because when shit moves too quick like this, there's something else going on. Either they're trying to make shit pass so now that they don't have the death penalty and they can, take all these death row inmates and put them in population, or they're gonna fucking ramp it up and say, "Yo, we're taking everybody out and we're gonna clear death row," and then it sets an example. It's either way, but I believe there is a chance that he could possibly get the death penalty uplifted.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's a fact. I mean, well, why don't we Google this? How many death penalty cases have been overturned in the state of Florida? Let's Google that.
I'm gonna chat GPT it right now. I have it on loud on speaker.
You got to do death row cases though. Death row cases.
Yeah,
and-
only death row.
And there is one dude that Patrick. He actually killed a cop. He didn't murder a woman or a child. He's on death row.
Okay. Hey, how many death penalty convictions have been overturned in the state of Florida?
Since the death penalty was reinstated in Florida in 1976, 30 death row convictions have been overturned. Notably, Florida also leads the nation in exonerations from death row. In 2025, the state set a record with 19 executions in a single year, sparking further debate about the system's fairness.
Hey, what that is? A British voice?
Yeah, I got a thing for the British women.
I fuck with that. I
So
fuck with that.
of course, we have the most death row. So of course we're gonna have the most people to be able to appeal it too, because the numbers are just more.
Yeah,
just more, bro.
Yeah, well,
You
we
know?
have we bro, we're like we're up there, bro, with the amount of prisoners that we house in the state of Florida. I know we're up there, and I know we're like number 1 or number 2 for the amount of people that are sentenced to life in the state of Florida. Other states, like we went through this the other day with DVS, I think you said New York has like 8,000 people serving life. 8 or 9,000 people serving life in the state of New York.
So there was a bill that was passed from 2008 all the way until recently. It's still in effect. They're actually letting a lot of the lifers go. Like a lot of the lifers with the old numbers, they let them go. Like there's not really a lot of old numbers. That was part of the program for because they knew the mass incarceration was coming back with the migration and everything. So they let go a lot of violent offenders. Where they started back with merits and all that to take out the beds and then they're gonna get refilled, but all the lifers are gone. Like you get new lifers, but they don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the old ways.
So in the state of Florida, we right now currently have, I think, between 14, I think it's like between 14 and 15,000 people serving life in the state of Florida. And in the state of Florida, life means life. There's no parole board. There's no 25 to life or whatever those other states to do that stuff. No, if you get sentenced to life, it means life. When you go to the prison, your shit will say 9999999 under release date. And I'm just saying that there's a good chance, bro. There's a good chance, dog. Like I said, I was in the main jail with Seth, bro, and Seth beat the death penalty case under judging Glacius something. Beat the death penalty case, bro. Came back after sitting on death row for like 14 years, just because the evidence they used in his trial was very weak. Right. So he came back and they pulled the camera up that they used, the camera footage that they used. And I went through this before. It was camera footage from like the fucking 90s, bro. It was like, it moves and it's black and white and grainy. It's not like 4K footage right now. So you couldn't really tell it was him. They brought this back up in front of the judge. This was the main reason he got convicted. And they let him go, bro. They let him go after sitting on death row waiting to die for like 14 years, bro. And I've seen it. And the fact of the matter is, to get it overturned to a life sentence is not I look that up, DVS. How many? Yeah, look, because you looked up how many people have been like pretty much beat the death row. How many people have got their death sentence turned into a life sentence in the state of Florida?
I'm gonna check that right now. But go back to what you said about the death row inmates in New York State. It's 9,000 altogether.
9,000. Oh, lifer inmates.
Yeah,
9,000.
But there's 1,200 serving virtual life. So virtual life basically means you're serving 50 years or more, or an extended sentence past the time of you being, alive. So these lifers represent nearly 1 in 5 people in the DOC custody, reflecting long sentences practices in New York. The overall New York State prison population as of the end of 2023 was about 32,600 people. So those serving life or virtual life sentence make up a significant share of the total. If you need more, and they let a lot of lifers go.
Yeah,
So-
see, there's 14,000 motherfuckers walking around in the state of Florida, never getting out of a gate.
That's
Yo, Corrupt said your voice is too monotone, DBS.
DVS smoked the joint today, bro. I
Yeah,
talked him back
man,
into it.
Listen, I gotta keep it cool, man. Plug, you raising my blood pressure, man. I'm gonna come out there.
That's what makes that's what makes this channel better than other channels, because a lot of people can't argue and then they'll go off a panel and not talk to you ever again. We're able to argue. Let's get to we're always going to agree to not agree to disagree, but let's get to a certain point where we can. And I apologize if I got loud.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little wild, man. We're working on it. We're getting better.
No, we need to get worse. That's what makes the content better. We need to see how far you can take it.
Oh no,
I'm just joking. That's just kidding. We don't do that.
Breaking up real bad, man.
Salute. Oh, go ahead.
No, you were breaking up something bad, man. It might be moving through the woods, man. Plug's always working, man, shaking and moving. But yeah, fucking Pino, man. This is just definitely gonna show what's gonna take place. I think, honestly, I think it might get overturned.
I think there's a 50-50 odds, bro. It's in the air, bro. There's a good I'm not convinced like Plug is that it's 100% in the bag.
Hey, Barry.
I think there's a 50-50 odd. I think that there's 50% chance that he gets shot down for the next 15 years and or 10 years or however long it takes to kill him. But I also think that there's another 50% odds that he gets it reversed and gets sentenced to life. I'm not saying he's going to go home or anything, because we all know he's guilty as fuck.
He's going to compilation.
Yeah, I think that there's a 50% chance that he'll get the death penalty reversed under one of these appeals and get resentenced and get sentenced to life in prison, or maybe 2 life sentences in prison. There are people walking around the state of Florida on the yard that have 9 life sentences. 9 life sentences. You cannot live 9 times. You have 1 time to live
You're
in this
done.
world and you're
This is
gone.
home. This is home.
There
This
are
is your
people sentenced to
forever home.
9 life sentences walking the yards in the state of Florida.
So
9
Pino,
life sentences.
I'm actually talking to a kid that I ran into off of fucking TikTok. He had got a phone in New York State, right? He was somewhere. I think he was in somewhere. I got the interview, right? So he's over there doing TikTok dances and shit and state greens in a fucking facility. And I said, holy shit, let me jump on it. Got the interview. He ends up going to the box for getting caught with the phone, right? He's got 25 to life.
And we never dropped this interview. I just want to say that real quick so that everyone's clear. This is an interview that we
haven't
dropped, and
the
he went to
interview
the. We didn't even. We're waiting till he gets home. Go ahead.
So he's been locked up since '99. Well, he's been convicted on this one since '99. That's his number. But he was in the adolescence. He's been going through this shit since he was like 14. He did a bid from 14 to 17, came home and then caught, a gang murder. And he's been locked up ever since. So I've been talking to him, man, and he's been telling me a lot of things, man. There's a lot of things going on with, the lifer mentality because of all the things that's changing. You got new set of prisoners that's coming in. They don't know their ass from the elbow. They don't know the fucking, what's going on. Like I said, they let a lot of the old timers and the lifers go. So shit is kind of crazy right now. Dudes is cutting each other, stabbing each other for no reason. A bunch of young boys just having fun, so to speak. But those lifers, man, they have a different perspective on things. Like I said, I've been talking to them, and faith, hope, you know what I mean? That's the only thing they're holding on to. And
Bro, I've never, bro, I shit you not, dog. 10 years incarcerated, spent years around lifers. The thing is I have never met a motherfucker with a life sentence that has ever said, oh, well, actually I have. I've met a couple, but majority, let me just say majority of the motherfuckers that have life always have this hope that they're getting out. They get on the phone. Don't worry. After court, I'm getting out. Don't worry. They're relying on appeals because, dog, you have hope in those appeals. There's hope in those appeals. And people sitting around with life sentences, they put all their hope into those appeals. And they'll probably, bro, I've seen people with life sentences fight their life sentences for fucking 13 to 15 years, bro. And then exhaust all appeals all the way to the Supreme Court.
So I've been
with
dudes, right, Pino, that had 75 years.
They don't lose
right?
hope, bro.
You got 75 years, no L. They go back on the appeal, they get 50 years back. They got 20 in. They got 20 in because it takes 15 to 20 to get the appeal anyways. But they get all that time back. They only got 5 years left. You know what I mean? Like it'll be, I'm looking at 75, I just gave back 50. They took 50 back. I got 20 in. I'm waiting for the next 5. I'll be home in 3. You know, like that kind of shit. But you're waiting on those appeals because you've seen dudes, even with 100, 200 years. I just got back 144 years. Crazy shit. You'll hear it all the time on appeals. Appeals are a fucking glimmer of hope, something to grasp to. It's the only things dudes got to hold on to.
Well, a lot of motherfuckers, they have no choice but to hold on to that. Let's just be real, dog. Majority of the lifers that I met, dog, when you got life, bro, you hold on to the hope that one day you might get out. One day you might not be here. One day you might get out. You might get an appeal. You don't just get sentenced to life, go to prison and be like, well, my life is over with. No, you fight, bro. You don't lay down. And majority of the people sit there, they fight, they file appeal after appeal after appeal. They go through jailhouse lawyers. In Wade Wilson's case, he doesn't have to go through jailhouse lawyers. Yeah, he burnt the money with Efferman or whatever his name is. But at the end of the day, dog, bro, there are a shit ton of motherfuckers that are wet behind the ears. Thank you, bro. There are a shit ton of motherfuckers that are wet behind the ears that are willing to step up and say, I'll defend Wade Wilson just for the glimmer that they might win one of these case appeals and their name will forever be cemented into law books. There are tons of them, bro. My prosecutor right now is a fucking 19-year-old fucking green ass fuck. I'm old enough to be his daddy.
Could Chad Marks free Wade Wilson?
Chad Marks can't free himself.
You don't think Chad Marks can do some jailhouse lawyership for Wade?
I think Chad Marks is a bitch and a compulsive liar. I think everything he said has been lies. I don't think he does the things he does. I think it's compulsive lies and bullshit. Just my opinion.
Oh man. DBS, you left? I think he's out, man. I got DBS worked up. Salute to everybody in the chat though, man.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all smash that like, man. Smash that like. Let us know how you feel in the comments. You don't like something, let us know how you feel. You like something, let us know you like it. We'll bring it back.
I got an AGB. So AGB's, I just want to give you a heads up, man. AGB's doing a tell-all on here, man. Is there anything you need to come forward with before I get them on here?
Nah, you could bring him on. Tell him to come tell it all. That's my Canadian friend right there, man. AGB, he's having a hard time right now, man. Y'all pray for AGB.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah. I ain't gonna tell y'all because it's personal.
Oh,
It's
my
what's
bad.
going on. It's what's going on with him. You feel me? But he you know, y'all pray for my dog. You feel me? He gonna make it through. He gonna be back. He already said he was gonna be back. He's just trying to, overcome some battles right now. And yeah, that's that. It's life throws you curveballs sometimes, bro. So
I got money on Little Woody.
I got money on Woody. Woody got a bullet head. He got a hard ass head. Ain't no way you're gonna be able to knock Woody out.
Bro, the motorcycle didn't even knock him out or the dirt bike when he fell off of it.
Bro, bro, I can look at people and tell they got a hard head. Woody is one of those that got a hard head, bro. Like his shit will hurt your fist.
Yeah, because Woody can't go in there and lose. That's gonna make you look bad. So we need Woody. Woody's gonna have to go in there and put some work in.
Woody gotta put on. But the thing is with Woody, dog, you gotta look at first off, you gotta look at boxing and fighting. And you just have to be realistic about the fact that one guy is on Ozempic, is shooting shots in his ass to lose weight. He's got a ton of flab. I'm pretty sure he's not in shape. He hasn't run a mile since fucking he was in first grade. And then you got the other guy who is in shape, has a head shaped like a bullet, like a rock. And you know what I mean? Who we know who's been in a scrap or two. We know Woody's been in a scrap or two. And I'm not saying 1090 ain't been in a scrap or two, but I'm just saying, bro, I done seen you fight, bro. Like firsthand, like you can't fight.
Fact Stranger Fiction said when life throws you curved balls, make lemonade.
Yeah, that's a fact. When life, I just talked to AGB. He's all right. He's trying to keep himself in good spirits. It's nothing revolving him. It's just revolving with his life and shit like that. And he's just trying to handle everything. And life throws you curveballs. But see, like I said, some of them curveballs you can't make into lemonade, dog. Some of them curveballs it's like a wound that you gotta let heal. You know what I mean? And you gotta let it scar up over time. You got to it's a process. It's a process to healing. And yeah, so but he'll be back, you feel me? And he already told me he's been looking at property in North Korea, and yeah. He'll be streaming from North Korea. So we'll get an inside scoop. We'll get better inside scoop than China Mac. Shout out to China Mac.
Need more training. All right, y'all. We're gonna head out though. Appreciate everybody coming through.
Yes, sir.
Holla at y'all. Smash that like. Let us know your thoughts and opinions afterward.
Yeah, for sure. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch hits different when the YouTube Streets is live. Salute to Smokey. Salute to Smoke. Salute to Pebbles, Mallory, Ash, Carolyn Cooper. Thank you for the email that helped out. Kind of gave a little facts there. Chief, salute. Gypsy, Mel, Melissa. I seen Courtney in the chat earlier too. Salute to Courtney, Jessica, Space 2, Amber Nola, Flames Trotters battling Danny Myers. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna check that out, man. Danny Myers is. I don't know if you got your hands full of that one, dude. I don't know, man. Or are you battling somebody else on there? It depends on who you're battling. I need to see the styles, but yeah, no. Keep it rap. Keep it rap. Maz, salute. Amy, Boho Hobo. She had a great comment earlier talking about she knew somebody that got a long sentence. All right, y'all.